play. I know Scott for definitely not Red Hood, so he's made a change to Red Hood. Have you seen his Red Hood at all?
Never, no.
No, so both of these players just now are feeling each other out with projectiles. How do you feel like this goes for Supergirl? Do you think it's in her favour?
I hardly ever see this matchup, surprisingly, given that these are two top tiers, but yeah, it could go either way. Scott's actually Supergirl right now, isn't he? Yeah, I've seen his Supergirl before. He's good with her, so.
Okay, so Scott's playing Supergirl, so that's me getting them back to front. So with Red Hood, how do you feel like his projectile game goes against Supergirl's lasers?
Well, Supergirl pretty much can't be zoned, to be honest. Those lasers are so fast. Yeah, Red Hood's going to be wanting to get in on her.
Yeah, so really an advantage here, Red Hood should be pushing in, but the problem with Supergirl is she does have moves like the Ice Breath that leave her on positive on meter burn, and some really good mix-ups. So how would Red Hood ideally deal with that?
Well, Red Hood does his thing. He has really good normals, and that lunge is pretty much one of the best specials in the game, so we'll just see how he goes about it. Especially in the corner, Red Hood has some nice setups, which I saw even wasn't doing in casuals. So.
Yeah. And we just seen that's one of the options there that he has. He uses the lunge to code distance, but he did use a meter burn roll there as well, which is something
interesting.
It's a very interesting tool for him to use at that point, because earlier on we didn't see it in at least Injustice kind of playtime. We didn't see that kind of usage of the meter burn rolls to beat projectiles, and that's why Deadshot felt so prevalent in the meta, and he still is, but I've been told there's going to be a balance patch that maybe kills Deadshot a little bit.
Yep.
But do you think the same patch will affect Red Hood?
Yeah, it has, but I'm sure Red Hood will still be good, you know. They nerfed his lunge a little bit, which is fair enough, but he still has good neutral, good zoning tools and all that,
So what is the benefits of the lunge? Is it a meter burn launcher, or is it just a good closing tool?
It's like 13 frame mid with really good range, good chip damage, leaves him at good range on block as well, so it's just really good.
So what we're seeing there as well, he's challenging when Supergirl's in the air. The lunge is really good at challenge. We've seen her float out into a jab. He didn't fully capitalise on it from Red Hood, but it looks is it safe?
Meter burned is, yeah, and you saw him use the lunge to catch the backdash there after a back 1-3.
So how do you feel about Red Hood then as a character?
He's good. People say some people say he's the best in the game. Definitely a top 5 character. Definitely. Same with Supergirl though, and after the patch Supergirl got untouched, so she's probably going to be like top 3.
Still think she's going to be top 3, so who is it you play now, Rusty?
Deadshot.
Deadshot. Will you be changing?
Probably. Fate's going to be really good after the patch. When Deadshot gets nerfed, Fate consequently gets buffed, because that was his worst matchup. Now Fate's going to be really strong.
They'll have less contenders against him. That's good then, and we've got, that is euphemism, Glasgow Combat's euphemism taking the first match. And both the players is now just a bit of light banter, congratulating each other on playing well.
Yeah.
But the Scott is still also being told to stay free, so it's just one of those. He's doing really well, and that's one of the benefits there of the meter burn. You just seen that one low poke straight into the freeze, and look at that, gets just enough damage to keep him off and keep him at bay with that laser. But we're going to see Euphemism push in with, wow, what a block stun combo. I have no idea he was capable of that. But they're going to look at the damage as well. I was speaking as well from when I played, standard combo damage was for 1 meter between 400 and 600. I played Aquaman, so it was very, very much a situation where 1 meter, but it seems a lot more normalised damage. We'll maybe get 400 now, but it allows for these different exchanges in the match, so we're seeing a lot more setups as opposed to just straight up meter combos. But Scott there ducking the last hit of the Rekka chain from Red Hood. It was a really good predator range of knowledge.
3-way gas there, so he did well there. Didn't get a punish though, but now he has a corner.
And this is where Supergirl she's able to press advantage, but Red Hood using meter burn advantage there just for the armor, just to get out. And you can see that they're also playing in tournament mode. I've never noticed this before from the Wii tournament right up the top.
That's kind of new.
That's new. Okay, I was wondering if it wasn't there before, but Scott just getting confirmed off the ice
challenging off the plus frames as well.
And it was a good idea, but the dash under to keep the corner didn't quite work out because he dropped his combo. But it is known that Scott, if this is your first time watching him, he plays on hitbox, so it is a little bit more executionally difficult to do something.
What a wake up, I think. That's kind of weird.
Punish, and that was a side switch as well, wasn't it?
And this is looking convincing for Scott.
And he's going to, he
Blocks
doesn't
the
duck
trait
the
right as
lasso,
well.
yeah.
Doesn't quite get the punish.
That's it. It's going to chip him down, but what would you like to see Euphemism do here to clutch out? He would really need to keep the corner and pressure. Yeah.
Don't get hit.
Don't get hit. That is a good solution as well. And the health value means any real straight hit will do it.
Down one, back lunge.
And that's it. That's
That should be it,
a really good swing back there from Scott to Scott after that first game, and he's making this look really convincing. He's shown that he's still fresh. But for someone that said he hadn't played months due to studying and job, it's it's really impressive to see him do so well. But there we've seen Euphemism again using the lunge just to clutch it
sticking
out.
with Redwood too. I know he plays pretty much the whole cast at good level, so could expect a switch maybe if he goes down 2-1.
Well, he was practicing earlier on. He was practicing stuff like setups with Flash, and he was shown that it was pre-patch obviously, so we've not got it yet, but he was shown the glitch with the standing animation lock, which was really interesting. But we're seeing that he was using a lot of tricky stuff. Yeah, fantastic use of interactable to push himself out there.
Punish
and
on
a
that
punish
lunge.
on the lunge. Yeah, this is fantastic. Oh, and he just whiffs the stop. Goes for a block stun reset, but no success there from Scott to Scott. Just standing in his face, yeah, it's fantastic. And he switches sides as well, pushing him to the corner and rushing him down. But the knockback on Red Hood's normals is really good. No punish there on the ice breath. It's going to be meter burn. Wall bounce into corner carry. So what kind of setups can we see again from Supergirl in the corner? None. Just giving Red Hood a little bit of room and challenge.
Oh, that's not death. 12.47 health. Nice.
So that's a very good trade there as well. The discus with Red Hood against Euphemism. Euphemism using the discus against Scott and Scott.
Beautiful whip punish as well. See if he uses a background bounce. No, he doesn't.
And we do have to remember, so there's no punish on the lunge, but there is the potential use of, there we go, the wall bounces just to challenge things. And you've also got the flash, which we've not seen from either player yet in either rounds, I don't believe, that gets the full combo and wall carry. Yeah, just challenges when he was placing out the mine there, but the trade almost cost him. And this is a position where a combo might not kill at this point, but it's strong enough to put you on death's door. But great challenge on armor there from Euphemism.
That back 1-2-3 advances so fast.
And how fast is it?
It's a 9-frame start up.
Oh, and Scott the Scott takes it.
Yeah.
And as I said there was no clash there from Scott the Scott.
Yeah, that's interesting. Definitely could have clashed earlier on, but a lot of players like to save their meter. So
is this a result that you're used to seeing? Does Scott usually win against Euphemism? From my
honestly, I
Euphemism
don't know. I don't think I've really seen them play at all in this game. Definitely MKX. I think they'd go somewhat back and forth, but
yeah. So it's kind of it's a storied one that tends to go in Euphemism's favour, and as you said, Euphemism plays most of the cast, and he's going to be switching now to Joker, a character. This is a character that I know Euphemism for, and he did have a lot of tricky mix-ups in day one, but he's floating over all these characters, and it shows you the kind of advantages of being able to play multiple characters in the game. He can choose a matchup that suits him just now, whereas Scott the Scott is consigned to playing Supergirl, not Superman, even though he's floating over it.
But you're not exactly going to be able to counterpick Supergirl, though. She definitely doesn't have that many bad matchups, and either way they're not that bad, you know.
And what's interesting here is we now know who the recently announced characters are. We've got Hank Pym, the Turtles, and Enchantress, but those don't match up. Those images, I wouldn't say any of them look like a turtle there, do you?
Yeah, no, neither.
No, not at all. So this is, if you were watching last night, the E-League, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Enchantress,
Deadshot.
Oh, this is an interesting pick, yeah. So we just seen you use Deadshot just 2 seconds ago. Do you think this is a good counter pick against?
This is pretty much definitely a 5-5. And a lot of Deadshots struggle with this because you kind of have to play the zoning matchup a lot differently because their lasers can obviously challenge really well.
The lasers can challenge really well, yeah. And also Supergirl in close is a lot stronger than Deadshot. Deadshot's very limited when he's up close but he can use that cartwheel to get back out and use the guns just to keep distance. And meter burning the low rifle is very, very strong, and he can set up meaties with it. You can see just chipping down damage and quickly reflecting the bullets up just to stop Supergirl from using her air dash to get in. And
Good challenge of the forward one.
This is where he's excelling, and a really good hit confirm there on the meter burn. And it's just, this is going to be really frustrating for Scott to stop, because when he is trying to air dash in, he is getting caught out, but look at him using
Deadshot has the life lead, he's
lasers,
looking for his trick shots to catch the air lasers.
So when he's using air lasers, is it beneficial for Supergirl able to use the air down laser?
Yeah.
So instead of baiting, it'll bait the upshot, or bait the reflect shot, just to catch him out?
If Euphemism does a trick shot on a read of a jump, the regular laser will hit. Actually, even a teleport would hit if he makes that hard read.
Yeah, but that is a very hard read, because the teleport is extremely punishable.
And if he's doing straight shots, the air down laser might catch.
And that was a really good dash in there, but doesn't get the full hit confirmed. He just goes for a neutral jump into pressure, and that's it.
Sucks.
This could be the round as well, because they're in the corner. Supergirl has setups and a massive amount of damage. We'll see if he wants to spend the meter. Oh, gets caught by the meter burn armor. A nice tech in the air. Nice dash in from Scott.
Okay, cool. Close it out.
Just, that's unfortunate. He got the hit confirmed, but didn't fully capitalise on it. And there we see it again, he's using a lot more confidence in his air dashes in, and he's using the ice breath just to challenge.
Supergirls always do jump, like air dash into 1-1-2, and it doesn't jail, so I'd like to see if he does it again, Euphemism maybe challenge that with a down one.
And that's he even concedes it right before, but we're going to see a character select. So does Scott have any good counters to Deadshot? Who would be a good pick against Deadshot?
He plays Batman. I think Batman's also probably a 5-5. He also plays Superman. That's probably 6-4 Deadshot, so it's hard to say. If he does switch, we'll probably see Batman, but it's hard to say.
Obviously, you're saying that everything here's a 5-5. Do you think there's anyone that does have a strong matchup against Deadshot, or is 5-5?
Flash is, I'd say, his worst, just because of the damage. He doesn't struggle that much to get in, and
he's a far more aggressive character.
Catwoman, another bad matchup. Cheetah, you could say, is a bad matchup, but I mean, when do you ever fight a Cheetah? Brainiac, I hate fighting Brainiac. He's probably a 5-5, but I mean, I've seen Brainiacs do quite well against Deadshot as well.
But we've seen just now they're taking a little bit of time here on the screen, because your man
thing.
Nausea is up giving secret whispers in the ear of Scott, telling him how to beat the demon that is Euphemism. And if Euphemism goes into losers at this point, he'll have to play against Fusco in losers. Fusco is another local player, is he?
I have no idea.
No idea, okay. So we're seeing a lot of choices here, but go straight.
Green Arrow, alright.
Go straight for Green Arrow. So this is a zoning game. I used to play Green Arrow in Justice Gods Among Us, not in this one. He was never a great character. Do you think he's a lot better in this?
Well, Green Arrow as a character is really solid, and this matchup in particular is kind of interesting. It's another one that a lot of Deadshot players struggle, because they can't just do back forward one, back forward one, back forward one, because of those low arrows. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so he utilises his low profiles, and the low arrows are faster than the shot, but what's the damage trade-off?
Definitely he's going to need to load up fire arrows or something.
Yeah, there's these standard arrows are not doing a lot of damage, and that's just a whiff there, and that's a great punish on the wheel here. So obviously we've seen a challenge from Scott to switch to this, but it's not working out. And the big overhead is similar to Dragunov's back on +2 in Tekken. There's a massive overhead, but catches him with the arrow, ice arrow, and this is going to be
not a full combo with backdashes in the back 3 as well. That's pretty awesome. Great
presence of mind as well from Euphemism to backdash, knowing that Scott will try dash up and get that perfect wall bounce combo, and just the whiff punished and launched. And look at that cost of Scott around in a match that was in his favour previously. Scott's now trying to load different arrows just to challenge
With a life lead here though, this matchup is really tough for Green Arrow, because the trick shot will challenge the zoning, so Green Arrow is forced to get in.
And you have to pick and place your arrows. So you seen him place his ice arrow, but he never got it in a range which is safe enough for him to dash in and confirm. And he tries to close the gap there with the slide, but as you can see, Euphemism just slides right back out with Deadshot, and he's making the most of sitting on this lead. Peter Burns challenges him right out a roll there, and this looks devastating for Scott.
That's a huge life lead.
Pinned down. This is the kind of life lead that you can't get back on. And what a fantastic meter burn.
Only has
Scott
one bar as
shown
well
he has
when
the
he finally
full
gets in.
actual combos, but switches sides of it, and meaty grab set up, and he loads them up with arrows on the floor. Slides in but gets challenged by back forward 3, and that's it.
Alright.
Euphemism takes it. So that's going to be Euphemism moving on to fight yours truly,
Oh, nice.
Rusty Banana.
Okay. When is that, after one more set or no?
That's it. We'll find out who's coming up next, so just wait around. We'll find out who's on stream.
Alright, sound.
So both players there, just looks like we've got a losers match up next, potentially. It looks like Scott the Scot and Fusco, maybe.
Okay.
So Scott the Scot staying down. Yeah, the plug's back in. And that means Scott the Scot's going to have to run a gauntlet after such a long kind of grueling set there. He's going to have to go up against Fusco. I believe he is a player from Dundee, an anime player.
Okay. Nice.
But interested in Justice, and that means I believe I could at least tag out and get Euphemism on before your match. So just hold on 2 seconds, we'll switch commentators to someone that knows a little bit more.
Yo, how do I read the stream chat?
Black Canary. Captain.
Alright, I have returned. What did you think of that one?
The Deadshot pick, I respect it. Interesting at the end, the Green Arrow pick as well.
Yeah, it was. I was pretty
Yeah.
thrown
That
off.
dead shots.
Yeah, it was a bit of a decision that threw me off, but at the same time, like, I had to do it because
How
Yeah.
do you guys feel knowing that Deadshot is going to die soon?
I don't mind it because I've got plenty of characters to pick from. Not against Supergirl. God no. Next city. I've got Red Hood. Why would you play Joker when you've got Red Hood? I do. But what I also respect is this Captain Cold pick. This man is trying his hardest. We saw this last from Sonic Fox at Ely against Forever King and Nubcakes. Tried out the Captain Cold, didn't work against Forever King, got double eliminated for the decision. Barely managed to scrape out against Nubcakes. Oh, gets the bat there, doesn't quite get the conversion. He's got to drop that a couple of times there with the run bat. But we'll see what he can do with it. But right now we have, I believe that's Fusco, right? He is playing Captain Cold right now.
So what have they done to that Vortex on the patch? Is it the jump to hit advantage is different?
Ah, yeah. For Batman, the changes that he's going to receive in the upcoming patch for PS4 are his jump to hit advantage has been minimalised 5 frames. They've also made it so that if you catch him out of the air with grapple, the hit advantage is greatly reduced now.
Alright, nice.
So, well, it's greatly reduced in terms of it's normalised to be the same as if you were to hit him with the grapple on the ground. Because if you were to hit somebody with the grapple from the air and then meter burn it, it usually has a little bit more hit advantage than if it was done on the ground. And we have a super here from Captain Cold. Hype stuff here, shoutouts to Decay, the man who designed this super friend. One of the best.
But yeah, what I was thinking for Batman, if you can't do jump 2 into jump 2 for the Vortex, you can just wait for like the grapple hit advantage and then do another ambiguous jump cross up, almost like, you know, Superman stuff in the corner or whatever, when it does like Frost Breath and then ambiguous jump 2.
I think the grapple will still have enough hit advantage to do maybe like a cross-up jump to, but I don't know, we'll see. Somebody will find out.
we'll
Forever
see.
King will be labbing it, so we'll see what happens with that. So that is Scott up 1 game, I believe. That's fine. It looks like Fusco's want to switch characters. Captain Cold is a very strong character in some matchups, but there are some matchups where he just really, it's a very hard game for him. So you can see here, Fusco, originally a Smash player, coming over to play a little bit of Injustice. Very casual just now, he says, but he's looking to get into it a bit more. He's been playing a couple of cards. Looks like he's switching here to Dr. Fate. Very interesting choice. Dr. Fate does very well against Batman, actually.
Yeah. Saw that just earlier with Tekken Master versus Forever King.
Sorry?
Dude, we just saw this matchup at E-League as well.
Yeah, that's right. Who's it said, sorry?
Tekken Master and Forever King, I think.
Tekken Master from the King, yeah. Tekken Master, master of many characters. Yes, Tekken Master did very well at using this feat. We're looking here to see if Fusco can pull off the same against Scott. Dr. Fate doesn't seem too bad just now. He's shown a little bit of tech earlier.
Nice tech.
Very nice tech, actually. See if Scott can keep up the pressure. Goes for 2 if he doesn't quite get it. Gets a jump 2 this time, however. And he's going to go for a mix up here. Let's see if Fusco blocks it. Oh, goes to the up arrow angle, but it whiffs there on Dr. Fate. Very
Bad
interesting.
input error there.
could be a very character-specific tech that up Batman in the corner, but it does leave Batman at
Another
+9,
super,
and another
let's go.
super. Doesn't get the forward 3 in time to kill, so he will eat all this damage. Let's see if we can neutralise any of it by pressing 3 for each hit. Nope. Neither player manages to make it more or less damage. But Fusco is going to try his hardest to keep Scott away at this point. Activates trait. If he's hit by one of those orbs now, he's going to bounce back to full screen, and the anks will be physical hits. But Scott manages to close it out. That trait's going to run out now, and Scott will have another bat to play around with. Let's see if he can use it to work his way in. Gets hit with interactive. He tries to punish with the bat, but doesn't quite get much from it. Gets another trait bat, and he now has him in the corner. That's a scary stuff for Fusco, but gets over the bat, catches him with a jump 1. And you see Scott gets trip guarded right there with the uppercut. And Fusco is still, he's keeping it close.
Yeah, this is really even.
Very even matchup, Dr. Fate Batman. Very, very tough. If Batman gets in,
preempted down to West.
Had the read wrong timing, unfortunately,
Restance.
and he's going to get mixed up. It was
Lots
a
of
cross-up, but he
cross-up.
didn't block it. Didn't block the follow-up hits, unfortunately. It's cross-up jump 2, and let's
No
see if Scott
clap.
does it. Gets the meter burn grapple. So 1-2, and not blocking low Fusco, maybe not aware of the back one, and another super, doesn't quite get it this time. No punisher from Scott. Scott goes from uppercut but gets caught. No clash either there from Fusco, but doesn't have the meter advantage, so either way, it would have been a little bit of life, but even a clash can sometimes just be good for resetting the situation. Scott now up 2-0. We'll see if Fusco switches to another character or if he chooses to stick with Dr. Fate. Like I say, the Dr.
Sticks
Fate
with Fate.
matchup isn't too hard for Fate. It is doable. But we'll see if we can bring it back. He did keep it close most of the time.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. Till they got in that corner.
Yeah. It's not like he was getting completely demolished, it's just when he Scott managed to get in. Gets caught with the 3 trait bats there. Doesn't quite get the
Drops
follow-up
a combo
there.
though.
Just got caught trying to disrespect the frame trap. And Makeup Glyph gets caught with the bat very nicely there
That
from
jump
Scott.
1 being out the jump 2.
Yep, unfortunately there the drop combo. Gets the health orb, not sure if he wanted that. Common input error with Dr. Fate players. Goes for an orb, gets caught, and no full combo punish. They get the caught pressing buttons afterwards. Scott's going to get that meter and grapple, and let's see what he does with it. Goes for another neutral jump 2 and catches him glyphing. Very nice stuff. Tries to side switch, doesn't quite get the conversion from it. Just doing his best to try and keep Scott away. The life differences now are pretty big, but we'll see. It's still doable. Scott has the bats. Oh, and his
Another
super's
super.
very perfectly timed there. But unfortunately, the bats hit him, no super, and
read on
Scott with
that
the
round.
jump. Very nice up that round. Fusco 1 health bar away from being sent out of the tournament, unfortunately for him, but we'll see what he can do. Goes to the multiple
6
down
frames
once, no
minus
check here from
2,
Scott,
man,
the
fair
Scott,
enough.
and gets the
You
back one
do what
with
you
punish.
need to.
Tries to glyph against the jump 2, and this is going to be another mix-up, has the meter for it. Goes for forward D, into forward D, he's going for the
Conquer,
cockpit, and
alright.
tries to get a throw, wake up
Oh,
throw
is
there.
that crossing
And he's going
up?
for the cross-up,
Reverses
before
the
he
wake-up
whiffs with the health
probably.
orb there, very interesting. But no punish. And both of those going inside the cockpit. Back 1-1-2, let's see if he gets caught through it. And a cross-up forward D and knocked in. Goes for another
super, let's
super!
go.
This is like the 3rd super from this game. Wow. 23.47 health, no meter to work with, no clash, 1 hit will do it for him, so he will need to try his hardest to make sure Scott doesn't get anywhere near him.
And he's
He
just
will need
standing
his own
still.
target, and he's looks like he's giving in, yeah, looks like it's done here for Fusco. Scott takes it 3-0 and moves on in the losers bracket. Unfortunately for
nausea.
Fusco being eliminated here, but, you know, just couldn't keep him out.
Yeah.
But like I say, he is a Smash player, he plays in just a bit casually, but he's planning on coming along on Sundays.
Nice.
You know, if any of you are around the Glasgow area, Sunday afternoons, 1 or 2 o'clock, we're in at Max XP Gaming. We're here practicing all the time, doing the best we can, learning all the matchups, and if you want to be here as well, you are most welcome. But as from now, with Scott taking that over Fusco, it looks like we'll have our losers semis match of Nausea and Scott. They may be playing that right now, let's have a look at that. Alright, let's see.
What?
Where's the match, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. Alright, there it's there. Must just be taking its time to load. Yeah, looks like we'll be moving into Scott Fusco 3-0. Just bear with us a minute and we'll get the next match set up for you. Maybe, yeah. something not coming out.
I'll try and get the audio out through.
Alright.
Going through yet? Yeah, I think so. Good then, that's it fixed. We may continue with it.
Okay, let's have a look here. So yeah, it looks like our next matchup will be Nausea and Scott the Scot, two of our top players here in Scotland for NRS games.
If you still want to do the winners finals first, then no. It depends. Do you want the person from winners to do 2 matches in a row, or would you want the person from losers to have to do 2 matches in a row?
Usually it's done like losers semis, winners finals, losers finals. Okay, yeah, okay. So we'll do that way. So Nausea.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, looks like we're going into losers semis here. Nausea and Scott the Scot. Nausea likely to be playing either Dr. Fate or could bring out his Catwoman again.
Yep.
What were you thinking when he brought out Catwoman?
Well, I was like, I saw him using Catwoman against Scott, so I was like, I mean, I play versus a lot of Catwomans, given that everyone wants to play a favourable matchup, so I was kind of ready for it, but at the same time, I'm obviously still nervous about a bad matchup. So.
Yeah. And he was playing really strong, actually surprisingly strong, considering the last time I'd seen his Catwoman, but he was really bringing the pressure onto you, the throws. He was just making smart decisions.
Yeah, his Catwoman was doing better than his Scarecrow for sure.
So we'll see if he continues with the Catwoman against Scott here, who is likely to be playing, like we say, either Supergirl, or he could bring out his Batman again, could be anyone. Even the Green Arrow pick. That was a hell of a pick. I respect the decision, and I can understand why he went for it, but the trades just aren't in his favour, and I knew that.
He never got the fire arrows out once.
Yep, that's the thing. He was just trying to do the fastest arrows that he could, and then even though I was trading with the low gun shot's doing like 97 damage, and the arrows themselves are only doing 12, so I'll take that trade all day.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, unfortunate, but like I say, we have our loser semis just now. Nausea and Scott's got both in the loser side, put there by both of us actually, and the loser of that will get to phase 1 of us again for the last spot in grand finals. So let's see what Scott and Gavin go with, because like we say, multiple characters these people play, so really no guarantees on who they'll play for now. I think at this point in Justice 2's life, because the game is so balanced, there's so many even matchups with even characters with even matchups and winning matchups, losing matchups. They're just so, the way it's balanced just now, it just, if you're going to play one character, you're bound to have maybe 1 or 2 losing matchups, but another character will cover that.
Yeah.
So playing multiple characters in this game is important, and is most likely your best chance of winning. Not to discredit any, people that made one character. We've seen people like Honeybee take Flash to 2nd place at EVO.
Yep.
I mean, a character that wasn't even considered particularly high tier either in this game. He did very, very well for himself. But that is just the Flash factor, the 50-50 is a huge damage. We saw that, that's how he bet Theo. Had 1 mix-up, went for it, landed it super, unclashable.
God, can't stand Flash.
Yeah, Flash is pretty strong. We're seeing him have a couple of nerfs upcoming in the next patch. For those of you that aren't aware, his back forward 1, the Fist of Fury move, the move where he'll hit you with multiple fast punches and then leave you to hang in the ground. There's a specific setup, or several specific setups actually I should say, in different combos that you can do to set it up so that the last hits of that move miss. So only the first couple of hits hit, and the first couple of hits of that move cause the opponent to go into this kind of slow down state where they're stuck for about a second, where they just can't move at all. And Flash recovers very quickly because only the first couple of hits have hit. So with that, he's able to get a guaranteed mix-up, and if he lands a guaranteed mix-up and he has a bar, you know he's going to land huge damage into possibly another setup, another mix-up. So you can't afford to get opened up by Flash. You really need to be playing your best in neutral. But neutral is where people seem to think Flash is lacking. So
I mean, it doesn't really matter when you do like 60% off a 50-50.
Flash actually considered one of Deadshot's hard matchups.
I definitely agree. I think this is probably his worst, because it's pretty much inevitable that you're going to get opened up by Flash, and when you do, it's like game over.
I mean, unreactable 50-50s are unreactable 50-50s. It is a guess. You will have to make sure you're in the opponent's head, you know what they're going for. If it's a guess wrong, it's a long way back.
And it's not like he struggles that much to get in. He has that one of like the best Mirburn rolls. He has good forward dash recovery. Like if he blocks rifle, he can dash. He also has running man stance as well. So you know, I have to use trick shots.
Superman.
Under the high
Fighters
shot.
approaching
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Batcave.
So very interesting stuff.
Superman, Fate, interesting.
Yeah, guys, I'm just going to be button checking here, so we'll update the names for you. So
Begin.
it is that's playing on the street, but Scott's not obviously Dr. Fate, one of Nausic's main characters, is Superman. The characters, but like to say, they play multiple characters, it's unlikely to change them for now. Superman, you know, the Superman Dr. Fate matchup is going back and forth. Before, it was pretty much in Superman's favour, there was damage in there. So it was disputed whether it was still 6 Superman's favour or now an even matchup, because Dr. Fate can handle it. But,
I'd say it's probably slightly in Superman's favour.
yeah, I would think so too. But no, you know,
It's not too bad though, yeah.
It looks like we're starting right into Superman and Dr. Fate. Let's see what happens with this then. Was it the first hit? It gets the meter burn off. Wasn't quite landing there. Goes for back. I think it's trying to put another layer into the last one. Oh, doesn't have a bar for the damage. Doesn't finish the kills. He's ready for the
Still got the 4-3.
another again. Jumps back to try and catch him with it. Doesn't quite manage to catch him. Oh, gets him just as the
Challenging the 4-2 trade.
Very risky stuff here from Ozzy. It pays off. We have the ball. He's trying to keep Scott out his best. And Scott will play that patient game. Very patient player. Very good stuff here from Scott. He's making very good at it. It's opportunity. Does it does. At the third time. This is going to set up for him. He has that sense of goal speed and that. Very nice stage for the kills actually.
That's the jump.
So that's good. He does that against the breath. That is damage. 425. Ooh, punishes the air tech. This is the bag damage. Ooh, gets the dive bombs. Was it trying to wake up with his cut out there? Gets the air laser. Very nice. Got chill up the Scott. 4.84 health left. We'll see if Nozick and the orb whiffs right over his head. It gets the forward two. Yes, a forward two at 9 frame. Very, very, very good bomb for Dr. Fate. Makes his mid-screen game very nice. And an early clash here. Probably just the position. Once they get out the corner. You know, he does have the meter lead, so he can get back what he wants. Only one bar, of course, doesn't have that much health for that, so he gets the orb, that's going to be a punish. The orb does have quite a bit of recovery on it. Goes to double forward speed, but he's already clashed. He's going to clash with damage. Maybe just going for that splat there, but having does that. Still playing patience. One was it a whiff. Doesn't look at the trick guard, but catches him after. Oh, shared the slot, that's definitely a bit better. But it does mean that Superman can be sent back those and it increases damage. Oh, catches a weapon at down one. That was a very
And he just gets the bar.
Oh, very nice. This is, oh, he doesn't quite get the dive bomb. Doesn't kill, but catches a loser and a down forward one. Very nice catch by that loser. Has been the corner line so he does it 1 or 2 left and a punch wake up. Doesn't duck it. That was changed to a high one of the previous patches, but does stay standing, gets top of that punch. But Scott is going to set this to 1-0 in his favour. We'll see if Nausea looking to stick with Dr. Fate and this stage. Very good decision because it is a stage that fails Dr. Fate. Scott's going to pass to the air. Doesn't have the bar, but gets the breath, sends it through the screen. Working his way back in to Dr. Fate. Sets up the near burn hard. Gets the air laser, but doesn't catch the bubble. Catch the air. Very nice. That backward leg, he does try to get going. So, does take back to that. Goes to near burn forward there. Scott willing to back that. Like I said, play the patient game, wait for the turn. When he has it, gets into the orb. Not usually there from Nausea. The forward two glyph is good enough position for the take it. Gets hit by the left there. Oh, gets caught very nice. Does get 8 on it. That's right. Doesn't get the conversion that back. He's so active. Catches him out of the air there on the way down. Nausea is bringing this back as over half a health bar here in the second game. Oh, catches him back again. Solid decision, gets the trade. Oh wow, gets right over that nearby arm and out to the corner. Big damage. To set up, dive bomb blocks it and gets the punch. That's in the air, that 1-2 down forward won't work properly. Here. Trying to check the standing 2 there, very interesting idea. The standing 2 overcuts it, gets caught out there trying to dash cancel and gets
air dashes him.
Right in past the left there. Solid stuff here from Scott, bringing it back. Has lost about 400 kills, but do it, he has 2 bars.
whip.
Oh, yep, can't get the full combo. Very nice stuff. Good done forward to into a bounce cancel, but not wanting to spend that meter. Might need it for the health back as soon as that's going to be a fun fail.
That's a risk of probably in the
Let's see what he goes for. And that's a punish.
good whip on it.
They're going to clash out there. Doesn't want to be in the corner. Doesn't want to take all that damage.
This world is mine.
It looks like they're... Oh, Nausea does have the bar, so he's going to get one bar back. Scott keeping his for a combo, so trying to use it for that big damage. Does have meatless there, but not too damage on that. Nausea could also be saving the bar for push block if he needs it. See what Scott's going to do. That second hit the forward to catching people back. Actually, that's the benefit area down forward to. Not something Scott would have wanted.
That orb there just controlling the space.
Nice. Meter burn back then. Not sure if you guys need to pop that close for the transition to power, but taking the meter back to the and a forward.
The wake up.
Oh, catch with the air take. That's going to be big damage. That's a reset as well. And that's going to be the second game. Wow, big damage there for Superman. Scott with the comeback there.
Superman
Really
wins.
good stuff there. Very well played, very patient, and then he took his turn, managed to get past those glyphs. And we'll see what Nausea does with it. Looks like he's going back to player select. Maybe just for a breather. Might want to switch characters, maybe even switch a stage. But I don't think the stage was too much of a problem for him. He had it in the right area, and that interactive on the left side sends it back to full screen, which is something he
Superman.
obviously wants.
Fighters approaching Slaughter Swamp.
Transitions. An area that both power characters, well, there's only power characters here. Power characters can take advantage. They have the unblockable car, the blockable crocodile,
Begin.
the barrel, and they have the barrel on the right side. So that's a problem there. Scott managing to get that jump to starting off the big combo there. A lot of damage, 487. Just over a third of his health. Very fantastic.
Another air dash as well. He's got a lot.
Trying to keep that pressure on as much as he can. That's how you can do the Superman matchup. When you have space, you give him time to zone. And if he's zoning, he's building meter. And if he's building meter, he can push block you to get him. You need to make sure that pressure stays on. Scott, you can see with the air dash, you see the mobility. Mobility and the air control, something that's not for fields. He doesn't struggle to keep this, but it can be very hard with the amount of mobility and air control Superman has. And just because he can trigger those angst, and Thunder just misses. See the touch of the foot there, but just inside Superman's hitbox. Gets up through whiff punish. Interesting stuff there from Nausea. See here, it's a bit of an even match right now. Scott's got the 2 bars and the damage orb. Very, very, very well placed there from Nausea. Scott's got even though applying the pressure, losing that damage in the time. That's going now, and he's going to get the mix up, gets the back one. Nausea not expecting that, doesn't expect to reset. Might have been expecting a throw, but Scott gets the back one, but takes it down. Still has 200
Air dash over.
Very nice instant air dash there.
Punishes
Those specifically meatless conversions, and not got much help. But those will be a burn orb. This one's Scott getting, and he's going to use those angst. He's going to try to that's very nice there from Scott. Scott going to react.
bar too.
Unfortunately, doesn't get the back. He gets a stun, takes it, gets a bit of breath. But Nausea with the flash again. Once they get out of that corner, doesn't want to deal with the damage.
This world needs my protection.
Scott makes it on. Scott's got 15.02 health. One hit, one orb strip to take the frame. Even one unblockable angle he has there. Release it. Yes, and one more. But it gets caught. Jump to this is going to be big damage. Doesn't get combo. Wake up the
Invincibility, nice.
Wake up left takes the win. See if Nausea can bring this back. Still 600 no clash, no. Has the meter. No angst here to get a perfect score. Scott's still on his 2 bars. Both of them almost 3 bars now. They want to spend one for the chip in the tree. Has the meter burn to cover him. And it catches him. No conversion, however, unfortunately for Nausea. Scott's going to get a big combo here. He's just got the 2 bars, but Scott's going to keep him in the ground. No air escape this time. Gets a back too. Scott must have been correct there, but we'll see what happens.
He's holding on to a lot of angst.
And he's going to land that meter burn orb. No orbs there to convert off of that approach, but yes, that's a very nice decision. Keep that string safe. Nausea keeping himself alive, but we'll see if there's much more he can do. That meter burn orb is still there. So his forward side gets caught. Oh, and that's going to be it!
Insane.
That forward 3 is going to take the set. 3-0 to Scott. Nice. Scott, very well played. Scott the Scott really showing that he's still a very solid player. And he'll move on into losers finals now.
Yeah.
So Scott the Scott is guaranteed at least 3rd place this tournament. Very well played from Scott the Scott. And it looks like we'll be heading off commentary now for the winners finals. That'll be myself, Euphemism, and Rusty Banana.
Yep.
We'll see you soon, guys. Cool.
Oh shit. GK.
Wagwan, fam.
Who's left side? Left side.
Dead shot. Black Adam. Fighters approaching Red Sun Prison.
Yeah, hey.
What's post?
Begin.
Do we just type in? Do we just type it? Do we just type in the name? It's just, I think it's just name followed by dash I2. Just name I2.
Start typing in.
Right. Okay, get it. Ah.
Good afternoon, everyone. What is going on?
Hello.
Here, embodied at
Dead shot.
By your good friend Scott, who's sitting here. I know. I had unfortunately, you're forced. You have to be put onto commentary with the man puts out. I'm sorry.
This is my life.
Dead shot.
There we go. We have Euphemism doing his painted and
Fighters approaching the Joker's
hidden select.
playground.
Oh, a hidden select button check has been done. We are on
Rusty sticking with his usual dead shot. Oh, I got the Catwoman. He might have done a little bit better. A little bit better, but no for next time. Deadshot's at a range he finds favourable, but Catwoman. Just to
slow down a little bit.
up a nice. Catwoman goes from meter one back to he's trying to get up. Nice punish with the back turn to that. Euphemism's going to take 314 damage, solid. Ooh, jump one to the Catwoman jumping. It can be tricky sometimes.
Superman Vortex, but anyway, here we go.
I'm not a good check from Catwoman around the meter. Deadshot does have the slight likely, however Catwoman does have the meter to bring this back one combo away and it's straight evened up. Only have to spend it. If Rusty can keep looking at the middle of this, then it's going to be really difficult. That's a change in it. How would this change it? The save time. Sorry about that. There we go, the class.
Kiss this, Floyd.
I would say so. But if any character can bring this back, it's Catwoman. She has all the tools, she has the range, she has the speed. That's it, perfect. Now for a knockdown. Oh. Jump to pressure. Oh, meter burn roll out there to the corner. That was so smart from Rusty because now he's created enough space. Oh, 50-50. But that's fine.
Thought you were a skilled killer.
This isn't just one. Projectiles are flashful in this game. Forward one string. Like that one, but Rusty just remaining patient and goes in, check, pulls your euphemism out, and that's it. Rusty is going to take the first match.
Is that straight into the restart?
Begin.
Oh, it is.
Straight up. Walk diagonal.
That one jumps in. Oh, excellent down one. Excellent down one trip guard. Plus. Oh no. The air tech. No punish in the air tech. Oh, excellent conversion from the down one. Catching the Catwoman trying to jump out the corner. Excellent run. Oh yeah, this guy is no slouch here. He's able to play up close and far away with his unique 50-50.
Character that you have to play his game going back.
You haven't hit Batman? Oh yeah. Oh, tried to run back to you. Excellent whiff punish by Rusty. Euphemism just really struggling to remain patient. He's trying to up much to dash and not really utilising the walk speed of Catwoman. The meter burn rifle is a problem though. Oh, the low. Cat stance, cat stance. Ah. No flash. That's 2-0 to Rusty Banana.
Player select, he's composing himself a little bit here.
We'll just put the score up, Reno.
Reno, it's 2-0.
There we go. Euphemism considering his options, he's possibly considering the mirror.
I really don't want to commentate the mirror.
I would hate to commentate the mirror.
Oh, dead shot, man.
I think it would be much more fun.
Turtles hype, but let's get hype for Turtles.
Yeah, let's get hype for
Turtles. We've
Turtles.
spoken about on the stream already. We've been flying about.
Yeah, literally just got reviewed like
That's going to have
a
a
day.
back.
Huh?
That's going to have a back.
Oh really?
It's going to have like a meter burn roll as well.
Oh wow.
It would just turn into a shell. And
Oh
just
my goodness, I didn't even think of that. You'd be like the shell from Mario and Mario Kart is flying along.
It will bounce off the corners and
Yeah.
coming back to you.
The Flash.
Above it.
Fighters approaching Atlanta.
That's it. I was actually considering we would have like turtle stances, then we go into the shell, they pop out the shell, and we've got a new band.
Do you think they're going to be like the trade? But what was the
Yeah,
pick? I believe was the
Begin.
Oh my goodness, the Flash.
Sorry, it's
There's the Deadshot. Flash saying, you know what, Deadshot, if you want to mix, yeah, you can try and mix. He's got that meter building, meter decrease trait. Push block, excellent, keep away. No punish on the lightning kick. Surprised because Deadshot is actually one of the characters that have a 7-frame, 7-frame move. Punish it. It isn't a bit much. Rusty looking extremely strong. You've had to make some sort of adjustment here. You have to get in and mix. We'll find out. He just needs one touch and this is it. This could potentially be it. He just needs to guess right in the 50-50. Delayed wake up. Oh my goodness, I'm punished, that's it. We're going to go for an optimal. He drops it! He drops the combo. That's huge. It's huge not only for the damage but for the momentum as well. This is like... Oh, the setup. Being by delayed wake up. Yeah. Rusty has got you playing his game at the moment. Playing that mid-range twitchy game. Something... Down one, hit advantage to get a play. That's smart. But no, instant jump back one. Such a good air-to-air normal. Nobody really speaks about Deadshot. Jump back one. It's one of the better ones in the game, I believe. Another down one on hit. Take the round. The trip guard with the 50-50 into the into unflashable 50-50s. That's it. Very good games for Rusty Banana. He takes it 3-0 over you.
Deadshot wins.
You've had losers finals now.
Who's against me?
I believe it'll be against you, Scotty.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed my commentary. I'm sorry if I cut you off a bunch of times.
No, it's all good, man. We've never done this.
Yeah, I've never
Plus, I
did
can
this
barely
live.
hear myself, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't even know if there's in the chat. If there is,
Peace.
Right, here we go. Let me try edit. Let me switch my headset. Right, here we go. Oh, this headset is much better. I can hear myself and stuff in this one. That's good. What's happening, chat? Let's do this, right? I'm there, man. I'm going to update this nonsense. I'm going to run losers finals. That's not the little tournament we have here in Glasgow. Yeah, if you want, jump on. Match Rusty with the dead shot. That'll be by the way, Rusty, I've just realised as well, I was wearing this one. You can't hear what I'm saying to you in this mic, but I can hear you, which is good. This is why me and Scott were like, oh, we were getting hype over you running over. But well played, mate. Nice one. Solid dead shot, usual. Again, man. Nice 3-0. So, have you considered your options for when the patch drops, man?
I might hop on the fight bandwagon, to be honest.
Yes, boy.
Maybe Starfire as well.
Starfire's like low-key broke, man.
Yeah, I think
No one talks about it enough.
the two of them are really good.
Right. Is it just me or can you see this mouse cursor? Right, here we go. There it is there. Right. So who have we got on the left here? Okay, Scott on the left then. Who's this side? Right, okay. It's still considered quite early for me on Saturday. I'm just sleeping. We're going to day off like this. Scott. Maybe just wait and see what they pick, and then I'll change it. Oh, it's a double hidden cursor. Are we doing a button check, boys?
Fighters
Or you just
approaching
jump straight
Gorilla
into it?
City.
Straight into it we go. Straight into it, no button check, it's live, it's going, it's losers finals right now. Let's do this.
Begin.
Black Adam versus Neptune. Let's go for Black Adam. There we go. Mix.
Come on, string pummels.
There we go. Headshot for the guy. Feeling about with the down ones, man. Oh, and one of the electric candies. Here we go. Right side. Some chip. Here we go. Yeah, does it cross it over? Does he jump through the arcs? Crazy. Here we go. Wrist cannon will take the health bar off his left Adam. Scott not too far behind here. Could potentially pull it back. Nice clear shot, takes the head clean off. Here we go. No back. Oh, no, wake up. Back knee, high kick, whips over. Forward to it. Straight out, that's nearly dead. Oh no! Oh, here we go, Scott. Take him out, take him out. Oh, there we go, the forward field. Take it from that teabagging Black Adam scumbag. Here we go. Lovely stuff by you, giving me the shouting.
Black
Loves his
Adam.
life right now. 1-0 against Scott the Scot. Will we see a Swampy pick? Shout outs to CrazyFingers. Subby. Considering these options, hovering over Swamp Thing, Rusty, what do you think, man?
That would be interesting.
Wacky Swamp Thing, big buffs coming his way as well.
Yeah.
Could we see the generation becoming all green? Everyone picking Swamp Thing?
Swamp Things and Firestorms.
Oh, Swamp Things and Firestorms. The Pocket Starfires. See it already. The occasional lunatic Joker, because I think he's going to be really good after the patches. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to bring MKX to you, man. He's bringing MKX back in a big way. That'll be set play most way behind, man. But here we go. Scott the Scot, undecided of who to go here. Considering his options a lot. Your nunnies are getting orange Adam. Who are you picking, Scott? Let's do this. Be sure to catch the archives, guys, on the YouTube channel as well.
Supergirl.
YouTube.com
Fighters
/
approaching Gorilla City.
TFGG. Here we go. Who did he even pick? Did he pick
Supergirl.
Supergirl? Yes, the footsie queen herself. Let's do it.
Begin.
Up we go with the updated AV animal. Right, let's get it started. My commentary is very low tier, so my apologies. I think it is, and it is low as well. Oh, well, it doesn't have low. That's up down. That's up down one. Nice down two, speaking of. Nice stuff. There she goes back 3 now. 5 misses. Oh, beats the break up. Forward. Oh, the cross up, man. Here comes that breath. And it catches him, man. Excellent. Takes the first health bar. Lovely stuff, Scott. Here we go. What's his response? Realize the last one is safe. Burns of breath. No punish. Absolute punish, as everyone knows. Nice low key plus, but here we go. No head always made it. Oh, look at this! Stanky legs by Supergirl, man. She's giving it a big boost. Low lightning will take right for you. Nice stuff.
Come on, strength,
Good
pummels.
stuff. I didn't think I'd like this game actually, but it is really nice. Once the salt settles, the losing to Deadshot.
Now don't you feel silly?
Once the salt settles, everything's really nice. Oh, the forward heel catch her there. Breaks out, big damage, but the clash from Scott.
Earth doesn't need a dictator.
Central
Superman
trade
with
it
the
to
screen.
no bad. Oh, they traded 3 each. So reset the, here we go. Everything is even here.
Oh, you can punish that.
Yep. Nice interrupt, but that's good awareness, man. Oh, there we go, the wake up. Forward 3 dive kick. Oh, it misses forward 1, 2. Nice and pressure here. Straight. Oh, right, here we go. Back 3. Here we go. Oh, what's the fix here? Oh, he went for the wake up and the stuff, but no punish. Oh, that's heartbreaking from Scott. That is heartbreaking. Oh, I feel so sorry for him.
Black Adam.
I'm going to light a candle for him tonight, but here we go. Let's update this scoreline. It's now 2-0 to you. And winners finals, not losers finals, obviously. Rusty waiting in winners grand finals. Oh, and Youth got his orange bladum. The smile is real. Look at that. There's a camera down here, Youth. Everyone can kind of see you. You puffing and panting away.
Superman. Fighters approaching Arkham Asylum.
But it's coming up. Superman. Tried and trusted against me. Mopped me up for days with this guy. Now let's see how Youth can handle it. Black
Begin.
Adam Superman, let's go. Robbie Scott locked into Superman now, so he needs to take 3 games off. Euphemisms. Famous archive of going every time. take the first round. Oh, and up. Dive kick out the sky. Summoning some lightning. Oh, what's this? Is he going for some setups? He got stuck. And he's getting right back. Big tree. With the wake up. Nice epic. Actually, one of the first things I've seen him watching. Let's go. And a jump. One, I believe, will take that. I'll fuck from that. Looks got lightning ball there. Interesting setup. Oh, if only he had straight.
That's how a king fights? I'll show you the wizard's power.
1 and 1. That's a tie. Good. That's it. Oh, he's got a snap up there. That is done. Swift 3-0 from our boy youth. Unlucky Scott. Well played, boys. Lovely game. And that'll be you, Rusty. That'll be you up, man. All the best, my boy. Wrist cannon your way to first place, my friend. And we'll get Scott back on the commentary here as well. Let's do that. Wish I could see the chat. I'm going to try and get it on my phone. Give me a sec. So this will be grand finals now then. Excellent. Youth and losers needs to reset the bracket against Rusty's solid headshot. Absolutely solid play. Perfect looking box with a repeat. Headshot and his leader due to say goodbye. But we'll see what happens. Alright, Scotty boy, unlucky my boy. I mean the first match, and I don't know what it is. It's all good. Do you not play Deadshot now? It was good to watch.
Deadshot.
So we've got Euphemism's in the same place, isn't he? Yes. And then we have Rusty, Banana, goes Deadshot. But who will you go? It's always the question we ask. Where's the stream? Where's the stream?
Red Hood. Fighters approaching the Batcave. Begin.
Check. Got to get going. Right, who we got? Who's you've got? Who's you've picked? What's this? Don't know yet. Right, okay. So
Deadshot.
we know Rusty's got Deadshot.
Red Hood. Fighters approaching the Batcave.
The handshake has been locked in. Really is. You can't hear me in your headset, by the way, as well. Oh yeah. I'm just saying you can hear it. Here we go. Deadshot stuff.
Deadshot playing patience too. Also a little bit more patient than the last match, as we can see on the dash.
To be here, right?
Take his turn.
Rusty will take him out. Oh, the fight and the start.
That's unfortunate. It really kills momentum to your friend in the corner, which is really unfortunate. We'll not really escape that thing to the perfect protect that finish. Red Hood's in the
That's that, the one here from Rainbow sent them packing, and overhead, and in the hole, and in the hole, and will take the first
this scout when the book game is wet, you think Rusty's going to commit to that one, and then start the magic to go. I think that is his strategy.
Oh, that was a good call.
Really is really
Nice, back feet on the here. You're interrupted as well. Oh, nice. Dash into that one. Risk cannons. Fire risk cannons. Here we go. Lunge. Mains out. Stars are coming. Right, no more stars. Spear come over. Oh, first match.
Scum like you deserve to die.
Bloodsucker. Headshot is looking really solid. That's it. Rusty, 1 up. 1 up.
Catwoman. Deadshot. Fighters approaching Gotham City.
See if we were just talking the past like half hour.
Probably was, but
That's all good. We'll just pretend. We're just pretending anyway. Let's go, Catwoman! Let's change it. Headshot. That's okay.
Shut down
Hear me roar.
That's a good point. No cap.
Here we go.
In fact, you just don't know it.
Oh, there we go. Oh, this'll be
You're tougher than I expected.
He decides to spin.
Hope you don't mind a few scars.
Who do you think? And the down two! The
Hey,
down
it takes
two.
it. Euphemism.
Q
has
shooting
adapted.
stars, man.
Catwoman.
Yes.
Aquaman.
Oh, we
Fighters
have a game.
approaching
Let's make this
Brainiac
switch
ship.
to Aquaman. Here we go. Youth is blinking repeatedly at me. What is happening?
Type Aquaman.
Type Aquaman.
It's not the-
I have to type
Begin.
Aquaman. I know, I can't spell Aqua. Oh, here we go. Pleasure for Cat. Into the unsafe forward. Jump out to the trail, stop that combo and track. And the flop. There we go.
Bend the backtrack.
We jab at the flop. Whip and a whip. Feeling pretty perfect, but let's go. Perfect, bro. Back knee will be with punish for the round and the trident toss.
Pay homage to the king.
Swagging it out. He's going to smash. Walked back three. Trace up. More chip too, yeah. You've got trio. There's more chips there. Oh, finish, here we go. Nice, down one in the foot.
Unscaled damage.
Oh, I had to flash that.
Ready
He
to
is
yield?
down on me.
I can't be tamed.
Youth, does he spend all 4 or just trade out with the 3? Or nothing at all?
Oh,
That is 4 bars for you. Big damage. 2 does have all 4 of his bars. Oh, but no finish, man. Nice. Oh, he should have went into the super, would have been hype. Oh! Back 3.
Euphemism.
Brings it up to 2. 2-2.
Set point for both characters.
Yep. Can Youth reset the bracket?
Catwoman.
We have more matches, which would be excellent.
Like,
Or
keep in
will
mind,
Rusty
has
take
this
it
game
and
to really
convince
test out other
fashion?
characters and see who he wants to really try and win with in the next match. Euphemism needs to go all out in both sets.
Deadshot.
Yep.
Fighters approaching Arkham Asylum.
Right,
Leading stuff.
Deadshot's the way. I'll try and bag it up now.
Here we go. Let's do
Begin.
this. Game 5. Jump 1.
Instant jump 1.
Back to Deadshot. Get that changed. Let's do this.
Yeah,
I'm on this like I can't on.
I'll see it on the ball.
On the ball. On the ball. Feeling this competition. Catwoman. Short angles. Nice. Look at that whip. Big whip with the slide. Whip. So sexy right now. The back one is stagger. And again, the blocks. Oh, the jump. I'll take it. Wheelchair.
Deadshot using all of his interactions, all of his surroundings, so struggling to get in, but what's he going to do?
Jump 2. Here we go. Pressure. There it is. Here it comes. Oh.
Trying to bait
Faces.
something out with the movement.
And whips coming back out. The meter burn roll, but Youth trying to gimmicks again, man. Yeah, I think the punishment. I don't think it was the punishment. It was the down. I think they did down. Very, very negative.
Up on life here, Euphemism.
Set
Still-
point.
still got
Match
life
point.
bar.
Tournament point for
Better
Rusty.
to make this come back.
Blocks. Push ball. Nice. Oh, nice jump in. Oh, what? I need some limbo action. Limbo. The back with that whip. That whip's so sexy. I keep seeing it, but it's so nice, man. Let's go. Wrist handles
This
are
is like the he's in the corner. This is not the Deadshot.
exactly where Youth wants him to be. Here we go. Jump 2. Here we go, but he's still not the combo, but he's in front of me. Forward 2. Plus the trade on the interact. 2 bars. 3 now. There we go. We need a flash. There we go.
9 lives to go.
Straight up trade.
Cheating.
2 each. You know that. Let's do this. Get with it, Scott. Let's go. It's all good, mate. Let's go. Trick shot. Catwoman.
Can he pull something? Oh, he goes for a cancel.
Down 1. Back 3 connects, but the clash.
How about a kiss?
Rusty saying,
I'd
no,
rather
kill
cut
this
you.
momentum. You can't have it. You
Will
can't
he keep his
snowball me.
bar for another rifle? Roll bar spend. GG's to Rusty. Man.
Deadshot wins.
And that's the last.
Bit of a decision that threw me off, but at the same time, like, I had to do it because
Yeah.
do you guys feel knowing that Deadshot is going to die soon?
I don't mind it because I've got plenty of characters to pick from. Not against Supergirl. God no. Next City. I've got Red Hood. Why would you play Joker when you've got Red Hood? I do. But what I also respect is this Captain Cold pick. This man is trying his hardest. We saw this last from Sonic Fox at Ely against Forever King and Nubcakes. Tried out the Captain Cold, didn't work against Forever King, got double eliminated for the decision. Barely managed to scrape out against Nubcakes. Oh, gets the bat there, doesn't quite get the conversion, so he's got to drop that a couple of times with the run bat. But we'll see what he can do with it. But right now we have, I believe that's Fusco, right? He is playing Captain Cold right now.
So what they've done to that vortex in the patch is that the jump to hit advantage is different.
Yeah, for Batman, the changes that he's going to receive in the upcoming patch for PS4 are his jump to hit advantage has been minimalised 5 frames. They've also made it so that if you catch them out of the air with grapple, the hit advantage is greatly reduced now.
Alright, nice.
So, well, it's greatly reduced in terms of it's normalised to be the same as if you were to hit them with the grapple on the ground. Because if you were to hit somebody with the grapple from the air and then meter burn it, it usually has a little bit more hit advantage than if it was done on the ground. And we have a super here from Captain Cold. Hype stuff here, shout outs to Decay, the man who designed this super for NIS. One of the best.
But yeah, what I was thinking for Batman, if you can't do jump 2 into jump 2 for the vortex, you can just wait for like the grapple hit advantage and then do another ambiguous jump cross up, almost like you know, Superman stuff in the corner or whatever, when it does like frost breath and then ambiguous jump 2.
I think the grapple will still have enough hit advantage to do maybe like a cross up jump 2, but I don't know, we'll see. Somebody will find out. Forever King will be labbing it. So we'll see what happens with that. So that is Scott up 1 game, I believe. That's right, it looks like Fusco's want to switch characters. Captain Cold is a very strong character in some matchups, but there are some matchups where he just really, it's a very hard game for him. So you can see here Fusco, originally a Smash player, coming over to play a little bit of Injustice. Very casual just now, he says, but he's looking to get into it a bit more. He's been playing a couple of cards. Looks like he's switching here to Dr. Fate. Very interesting choice. Dr. Fate does very well against Batman, actually.
Yeah. Saw that just earlier with Tekken Master versus Forever King.
Sorry?
Dude, we just saw this matchup at E-League as well.
Yeah, that's right. Who's it said, sorry?
Tekken Master and Forever King, I think.
Tekken Master from King, yeah. Tekken Master, master of many characters. Yes, Tekken Master did very well at using this. People were looking to see if Fusco can pull off the same against Scott. Dr. Fate doesn't seem too bad just now. He's shown a little bit of tech earlier.
Nice tech.
Very nice tech, actually. See if Scott can keep up the pressure. Goes for 2, he doesn't quite get it. Gets a jump 2 this time, however. And he's going to go for a mix-up here. Let's see if Fusco blocks it. Trying to save. He's keeping himself alive, but we'll see if there's much more he can do. That Mirror Orb is still there. So it's fortunately gets caught. Oh, that's going to be it! That forward 3 is going to take the set. 3-0 to Scott. Nice. Scott, very well played. Scott the Scott really showing that he's still a very solid player. And he'll move on into losers finals now.
Yeah.
So Scott the Scott is guaranteed at least 3rd place in this tournament. Very well played from Scott the Scott. And it looks like we will be heading off commentary now for the winners finals. That'll be myself, Euphemism, and Rusty Banana.
Yep.
We'll see you soon, guys. Cool.
Who's left side?
Deadshot. Black Adam. Fighters approaching Red Sun Prison.
Yeah, hey. What's post?
Begin.
we just type it? We just type in the name? It's just.
And the down two! The
Hey,
down
it takes
two.
it, euphemism
Q
has
shooting
adapted.
stars, man.
Catwoman.
Yes.
Aquaman.
Oh, we
Fighters
have a game.
approaching
Come on, make this
Brainiac
switch.
ship.
Aquaman, here we go. Youth is blinking repeatedly at me. What is happening?
Type Aquaman.
Type Aquaman.
It's what it is.
I have to type
Begin.
Aquaman. I know, I can't spell Aqua. Oh, here we go. Pleasure for cat. Into the unsafe before. The jump out to the trail. Stop that combo on the track. And the flop. Jabs. There we go.
Red, the back track.
We jab at the flop. Whip, but in the whip. Let's put that in the back. Feeling pretty perfect, but let's go. Perfect, bro. Back knee will be with punish for the round and the trident toss.
Pay homage to the king.
Swagging it out. He's correct. Walked back three. Trace up. More chop. You've got trio. There's more chips there. Oh, punish, here we go. Nice, down one in the
Unscaled damage.
Oh, I had to flash that.
Ready
He
to
is down
yield?
on me.
I can't be tamed.
Youth, does he spend all four or just trade out with the three? Or nothing at all? Oh, that is 4 bars for you. Big damage. 2. Does have all 4 of his bars. Oh, but no damage, man. Nice. Oh, oh, he should have went into the super, that would have been hype. Oh! Back 3.
Euphemism.
Brings it
Bring
up.
back
2-2. 2-2.
Set point for both characters.
Yep. Can Youth reset the bracket?
Catwoman.
We have more matches, which we do.
Push them.
That's okay.
Shut down Catwoman. Still there. Still there.
This is obviously possible, but it drops off.
You could have had the first part, but yeah, just gave
Last day we've got another nice boss. Two bars used there, right? Let's do that mere bomb.
Hear me roar.
That's a good point. No Captain does have and
Take that one down, there we go.
You just don't know it.
his game plan doesn't require as much. Just
Oh, there we go. Oh, this will be
You're
big
tougher than I
damage if
expected.
he decides to spin.
Hope you don't mind a few scars.
Who do you think? forward one. So that's all. Remember, there is no flash for Boston. Good needs to watch that. Plus, and the down two! The
Hey,
down
it takes
two.
it, euphemism,
Q
has
shooting
adapted.
stars, man.
Catwoman.
Yes.
Aquaman.
Oh, we
Fighters
have a game.
approaching
Come on, look, the
Brainiac
switch.
ship.
Aquaman, there we go. Youth is blinking repeatedly at me. What is happening?
Type Aquaman.
Type Aquaman.
It's not there.
I have to type
Begin.
Aquaman. I know, I can't spell Aqua. Oh, here we go. There's your fucker. Into the unsafe before. Jump out to the trail, stop that combo and track. And the
Oh my goodness.
jab. There we go.
Rent the backtrack.
We jab at the fork. Remember, there is no flash for Boston. Good needs to watch that. Nice. Plus, and the down two! The
Hey,
down
it takes
two.
it, euphemism,
Q
has
shooting
adapted.
stars, man.
Catwoman.
Yes.
Aquaman.
Oh, we
Fighters
have a game.
approaching
Come on, look, the
Brainiac
switch.
ship.
Aquaman, there we go. Youth is blinking repeatedly at me. What is happening?
Type Aquaman.
Type Aquaman.
It's not there.
I have to type
Begin.
Aquaman. I know, I can't spell Aqua. Oh, here we go. There's your fucker. Into the unsafe before. Jump out to the trail, stop that combo and track. And the
Oh my goodness.
jab. There we go.
Rent the backtrack.
We jab at the fork. Whip and a whip. Feeling pretty perfect. Let's go. Perfect go. Back knee will be done punish for the round and the trident toss.
Pay homage to the king.
Swagging it out. He's going to space. Walked back 3. Trace up. Watch out. You've got trio. There's a 4 chips there. Oh, punish, here we go. Nice. Down one and down.
Let's go back to unscaled damage.
Oh, I had to flash that.
Ready
one.
to
He is
yield?
down on me.
I can't be tamed.
Youth, does he spend all 4 or just trade out with the 3? Or nothing at all? Oh, that is 4 bars for you. Meg. 2. Does have all 4 of his bars. Oh, but no damage now. Nice. Oh, oh, he should have went into the super would have been hype. Oh, back 3.
Euphemism.
Brings it
Bring
up
back
to 2-2. 2-2.
Set point for both characters.
Yep. Can Youth reset the bracket?
Catwoman.
And we have more matches, which would be excellent.
Like, keep in
Or
mind,
will
Rusty
Rusty
has
take
this
it
game
and
to really
convince
test out
the
other
fashion?
characters and see who he wants to really try and win with in the next match. Euphemism needs to go all out in both sets.
Deadshot.
Yep.
Fighters approaching Arkham Asylum.
Right,
Leading stuff.
Deadshot is the way. I'll try and bag it up now.
Here we go. Do
Begin.
this. Game 5.
Doesn't get the forward 3 in time to kill, so he will eat all this damage. Let's see if we can neutralise any of it by pressing 3 for each hit. Nope. Neither player manages to make it more or less damage. But Fusco's going to try his hardest to keep Scott away at this point. Activate his trait. If he hit by one of those orbs now, he's going to bounce back to full screen, and the anks will be physical hits. But Scott manages to close it out. That trait's going to run out now, and Scott will have another bat to play around with. Let's see if he can use it to work his way in. Gets hit with interactive. He tries to punish with the bat, but doesn't quite get much from it. Gets another trait bat, and now has him in the corner. It's a scary stuff for Fusco, but gets over the bat, catches him with a jump 1. And you see Scott gets trip guarded right there with the uppercut. Fusco is still, he's keeping it close.
Yeah, this is really even.
Very even matchup, Dr. Fate Batman. Very, very tough. If Batman gets
Oh,
in,
preempted down 2 left.
had the read wrong timing, unfortunately,
Restance.
and he's going to get mixed up. It was
Blocks
a
the
cross-up, but he
cross-up.
did block it. Didn't block the follow-up hits, unfortunately. It's cross-up jump 2, and let's
No
see
clap.
what does it. Gets the meter burn grapple. Goes for 1-2, and not blocking low Fusco, maybe not aware of the back one. And another super, doesn't quite get it this time. No punisher from Scott. Scott goes from uppercut but gets caught. No clash either there from Fusco, but doesn't have the meter advantage, so either way, he would have been a little bit of life, but even a clash can sometimes just be good for resetting the situation. Scott now up 2-0. We'll see if Fusco switches to another character or if he chooses to stick with Dr. Fate. Like I say, the Dr.
Sticks
Fate,
with Fate.
matchup isn't too hard for Fate. It is doable, but we'll see if we can bring it back. He did keep it close most of the time.
Yeah,
so-
definitely. Till they got in that corner.
Yeah. It's not like he was getting completely demolished, it's just when Scott manages to get in. Gets caught with the 3 train backs there. Doesn't quite get the
Drops
follow-up.
the combo though.
Fusco caught trying to disrespect the frame trap. And make-up left gets caught with the bat very nice.
That jump one being out of the jump 2.
Yep, unfortunately there the drop combo gets the health orb, not sure if he wanted that. Cobbin in pit with Dr. Fate players, goes for an orb, gets caught, and no full combo punish. We get the top pressing buttons afterwards. Just going to get that mirror grapple and let's see what he does with it. Goes for another neutral jump 2 and catches him glyphing. Very nice stuff. Tries to side switch, doesn't quite get the conversion from it. Just doing his best to try and keep Scott away. The life differences now are pretty big, but we'll see. It's still doable. Scott has the basket. Oh, and his
Another
super's
super.
very perfectly timed there. But unfortunately, the bat's hit him no super and
read on
Scott with
that
the
bar
leading jump. Very nice up that round. Fusco 1 health bar away from being sent out of the tournament, unfortunately for him, but we'll see what he can do. Goes to the multiple
6
time once, no
frames,
check here from
-2,
Scott
man,
the Scott,
fair enough.
and gets the back
You
one
do what
with
you
punish.
need to.
Tries to lift against the jump 2, and this is going to be another mix up, has the meter for it. Goes for forward, into forward, he's going for the
Uncrossing,
knockdown and
alright.
tries to get a throw, a wake up.
Oh,
throw
is
there.
that cross
And he's
enough?
going for the cross up.
Reverses the
40
wake up
whiffs on the health
probably.
orb there, very interesting. There's no punish. And both of those going to recovery. Back 1-1-2, let's see if he gets caught through. And a cross up forward, T knocked in. Goes for another
super, let's
super!
go.
This is like the third super from this game. Wow. 23 even characters with even matchups and winning matchups, losing matchups are just so, the way it's balanced just now, it just, if you're going to play one character, you're bound to have maybe 1 or 2 losing matchups, but another character will cover that.
Yeah.
So playing multiple characters in this game is important and is most likely your best chance of winning. Not to discredit any, people that main one character. We've seen people like Honeybee take Flash to 2nd place at EVO.
Yep.
I mean, a character that wasn't even considered particularly high tier either in this game. He did very, very well for himself. But that is just the Flash factor, the 50-50
Yeah, exactly.
is huge damage. We saw that, that's how he bet Theo. Had one mix-up, went for it, landed it super, unclashable.
God, can't
Second
stand
place.
Flash.
Yeah, Flash is pretty strong. We're seeing him have a couple of nerfs upcoming in the next patch. For those of you that aren't aware, his back forward 1, the Fist of Fury move, the move where he'll hit you with multiple fast punches and then leave you to hang in the ground. There's a specific setup, or several specific setups actually I should say, in different combos that you can do to set it up so that the last hits of that move miss. So only the first couple of hits hit, and the first couple of hits of that move cause the opponent to go into this kind of slow down state where they're stuck for about a second, where they just can't move at all. And Flash recovers very quickly because only the first couple of hits have hit. So with that, he's able to get a guaranteed mix-up. And if he lands a guaranteed mix-up and he has a bar, you know he's going to land huge damage into possibly another setup, another mix-up. So you can't afford to get opened up by Flash. You really need to be playing your best in neutral. But neutral is where people seem to think Flash is lacking. So
I mean, it doesn't really matter when you do like 60% off of
Yeah.
50-50.
Flash actually considered one of Deathshot's hard matchups.
I definitely agree. I think this is probably his worst, because it's pretty much inevitable that you're going to get opened up by Flash, and when
Yeah.
you do, it's like game over.
I mean, unreactable 50-50s are unreactable 50-50s. It is a guess.
Yeah.
You will have to make sure you're in the opponent's head, you know what they're going for.
Yeah,
If
and
it's a
he-
guess wrong, it's a lot longer than that.
And it's not like he struggles that much
Yeah.
to get in. He has that one of like the best mirror burn rolls. He has good forward dash recovery. Like
Dr.
if he
Fate.
blocks rifle, he can dash. He also has running man stance as well. So you know,
Running
after
man
these trick
stance
shots,
also
Superman.
is under the high
Fighters
shot.
approaching
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Batcave.
So, very interesting stuff.
Superman Fate, interesting.
Yeah, guys, I'm just going to be button checking here, so we'll update the names for you. So
Begin.
it's playing on the screen, but Scott will be saying was he Dr. Fate, one of Nausea's main characters, is Superman. That's Scott's main characters, but like you say, they play multiple characters, it's unlikely to stop them for now. Superman you know, the Superman does take that back and forth. Before, it was pretty much in Superman's favour, there was damage in there. So it was disputed whether it's still 6 in Superman's favour or not. Trying to check the standing 2 there, very interesting idea. The standing 2 overcuts and gets caught out there trying to back cancel. And gets, wow,
Air dashes are
right in past the left there.
Protect the weak.
Solid stuff here from Scott, bringing it back. Has lost about 400 kills, but do it, he has 2 bars. Oh yeah, can't get the full combo, very nice stuff. Good done forward 2 into a bounce cancel, but not wanting to spend that meter. Might need to put the health back as soon as possible. That's going to be a fun fail.
It's a risk and probably in the 8.
Still has straight, and that's a punish.
Good whip on it.
They're going to clash out there. Doesn't want to be in the corner, doesn't want to take all that damage.
This world is mine.
It looks like they're... Oh, Nausea does have the bar, so he's going to get 1 bar back. Scott keeping his sort of combos to try and use it for that big damage. Does have the list there, but not too damage on that. Nausea could also be saving the bar for push block if he needs it. See if Scott's going to get it. And that second hit and follow to catching people back there. That's the kind of hit there, down follow to. Not something that Scott would have wanted.
That orb there just controlling the space.
Nice. Meter burn back. Not sure if you guys need to pop that close for the transition to the car, but take it over back to you. And a forward. Oh, guys, with the air take, that's going to be big damage. That's a reset as well. And that's going to be the second game. Wow, big damage here from Superman. Scott with the comeback.
Superman
Really
wins.
good stuff there. Very well played, very patient, and then he took his turn, managed to get past those glyphs. And we'll see what Nausea does with it. Looks like he's going back to player select. Maybe just for a breather. Might want to switch characters, maybe even switch a stage. But I don't think the stage was too much of a problem for him. He had it in the right area, and that interactive on the left side sends it back to full screen, which is something that he wants.
Fighters approaching slaughter zone.
Big transitions. An area that both power characters, well, there's only power characters here. Power characters can take advantage. They have the unblockable car, the blockable crocodile,
Begin.
the barrel, and they have the barrel on the right side. So that's there. Scott managed to get that turn two, starting off the big pump here. What a damage, 487. Just over a third of his health. Very strong stuff here from Scott.
Another air dash as well, which is a lot.
Trying to keep that pressure on as much as he can. That's how you can do the Superman matchup. If he space, you give him time to zone. And if he's zoning, he builds a meter. And if he builds a meter, push block units to get him. You don't need to make sure that pressure stays on. Scott, you can see with the air dash, the mobility. Mobility and the air control is something that Doctor feels. He doesn't struggle to keep this, but it can be very hard with the amount of mobility and air control Superman has. And then because he triggered those angles, and Thunder just misses. See the touch of the foot there, but just inside Superman's hitbox. Gets it off the whip punish. Interesting stuff there from Nausea. You see here, it's a bit of an even match right now. Scott's got to be marked, and the damage orb. Very, very, very well placed there from Nausea. Scott's got even though he's applying the pressure, losing that damage in time. That's going out, and he's going to get the mix up. Gets it back one. Nausea not expecting that, doesn't expect that.
Catwoman.
We have more matches, which would be excellent.
Keep in
Or
mind,
will
Rusty has
Rusty
this
take it
game
into
to really test out other
fashion?
characters and see who he wants to really try and win with in the next match. Euphemism needs to go all out in both sets.
Deadshot.
Yep.
Fighters approaching Arkham Asylum.
Right,
Leading stuff.
Deadshot's the way. I'll try and bag it up now.
Here we go. Let's do
Begin.
this. Game 5. Jump one.
Instant jump one.
Back to Deadshot. Get that changed. Let's do this.
Yeah,
I'm on this like I can on.
I'll see it on the ball.
On the ball. On the ball. Feeling that confidence. That one. Short angles. Let's try to back to the base.
Excellent
Look at
punish.
that whip. Big whip looks like slide. So sexy right now. The back one is diagonal. And again, it works. Oh, the jump. I'll take it. Wheelchair.
Deadshot using all of his interactions, all of his surroundings, so many struggling to get in, but what's he going to do?
Jump to it. Here we go. Pressure. There it is. Here it comes. Oh.
Trying to bait
Faces.
something out with the movement.
And whips coming back out. The meter burn roll, but you're trying to gimmicks again, man. Yeah, I think the punish, I think it was the punish, but it was the down. I played it down for him. Very, very negative.
Up on life here, euphemism.
Set
Still-
point,
still got
match
no life
point,
bar.
tournament point for
Better
Rusty.
to make this come back.
Blocks. Push. Nice. Oh, nice Nice jump in. Oh, what? Need some limbo action. Limbo. Back with that whip. That whip's so sexy. I keep seeing it, but it's so nice, man. Let's go. Wrist handles are blocked.
He's in the corner. This is not the best shot.
This is exactly where you've played something. Here we go. Jump 2. Here we go, but he's come out the corner. He's in front of you. Forward. Plus the trade on the other rack. 2 bars. 3 now. There we go. We need a flash. There we go.
9 lives to go.
Because you're cheating.
2 each. You know that. Let's do this. Get with it, Scott. Let's go. It's all good, mate. Let's go. Trick shot. Catwoman.
Can he pull something? Oh, he goes for a cancel.
Down one. Back one. Back 3 connects, but the clash.
How about a kiss?
Rusty saying,
I'd
no,
rather
kill
cut
this
you.
momentum. You can't have it. You
Will
can't
he keep his
snowball me.
bar for another rifle? No bar spend.
God, they may be playing that right now. Let's have a look at that. Alright, let's see.
What?
Where's the battery?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. Alright, there it's there. Must just be taking its time to load. Yeah, looks like we'll be moving into Scott Fiscal 3-0. Just bear with us a minute and we'll get the next match set up for you. Maybe, yeah. Is something not going out?
I'll try and get the audio out through.
Good then, that's it fixed. You may continue with it.
Okay, let's have a look here. So yeah, it looks like our next matchup will be Nausea and Scott the Scot, 2 of our top players here in Scotland for NRS games.
If you still want to do the winners finals first, then no. It depends. Do you want the person from winners to do 2 matches in a row, or would you want the person from losers to have to do 2 matches in a row?
Usually it's done like losers semis, winners finals, losers finals. Okay, yeah, okay, so we'll do it that way. So Nausea
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, looks like we're going into losers semis here. Nausea and Scott the Scot. Nausea likely to be playing either Dr. Fate or could bring out his Catwoman again.
Yep.
What were you thinking when he brought out Catwoman?
Well, I was like, I saw him using Catwoman against Scott, so I was like, I mean, I play versus a lot of Catwomans, given that everyone wants to play a favourable matchup, so I was kind of ready for it, but at the same time, I'm obviously still nervous about a bad matchup, so.
Yeah. And he was playing really strong, actually surprisingly strong considering the last time I'd seen his Catwoman, but he was really bringing the pressure onto you, the throws. He was just making smart decisions.
Yeah, his Catwoman was doing better than his Scarecrow for sure.
So we'll see if he continues with the Catwoman against Scott the Scot here, who is likely to be playing, like we say, either Supergirl, or he could bring out his Batman again, could be anyone. Even the...
Jump one. Back to dead shot. Get that changed. Let's do this. I'm on this like I can't on.
Let's see it on the ball.
On the ball. On the ball. Feeling that promising. Catwoman. Shot angles. Nice back there. Nice. Look at that whip. Big whip with the swag. So sexy right now. The back one is stagger. And again. Blocks. On the jump. We'll take it. Wheelchair.
Headshot using the ball is interacting. Ball is surrounding.
Jump to it, here we go. Pressure, there it is, here it comes. Oh! Traces. And Whip's coming back out the meter burn roll, but Youth trying to gimmick the game, man. Yeah, I think the punish, I don't think it was the punish, but it was the down. Very negative. Set point, match point, tournament point for West. Push point. Oh, nice jump in. Oh, what? Need some limbo action. Limbo. Back with that whip. That whip's so sexy. I keep seeing it, but it's so nice, man. Let's go. Wrist handles are blocked.
He's in the corner. This is not the best.
This is exactly where you've got something. Here we go. Jump two. Here we go, but he's still not the corner, but he's in the front end yet. Forward two. Plus the trade on the other rack. Go. 2 bars. 3 now. There we go. We need a flash. There we go.
9 lives to go.
Only because you're cheating.
2 each. You know that. Let's do this. Get with it, Scott. Let's go. It's all good, mate. Let's go. Trick shot. Catwoman.
Can he pull something? Oh, he goes for a cancel.
Down one. Back one. Back three. Connects, but the clash.
How about a kiss?
Rusty saying,
I'd
no,
rather
kill
cut
this
you.
momentum. You can't have it. You
Will
can't
he keep his
snowball me.
bar for another roll bar spin? GG's to Rusty. And
Deadshot wins.
that's the last.
Yeah, Red Hood's gonna be wanting to get in on her.
Yeah, so really an advantage here, Red Hood should be pushing in, but the problem with Supergirl is she does have moves like the Ice Breath that leave her on positive on meter burn, and some really good mix-ups, so how would Red Hood ideally deal with that?
Well, Red Hood does his thing. He has really good normals, and that lunge is pretty much one of the best specials in the game, so we'll just see how he goes about it. Especially in the corner, Red Hood has some nice setups, which I saw even wasn't doing in casuals, so...
And we just seen that's one of the options there that he has. He uses the lunge to code distance, but he did use a meter burn roll there as well, which is something
an interesting mechanic.
it's a very interesting tool for him to use at that point, because earlier on we didn't see it in the, at least Injustice kind of playtime, we didn't see that kind of usage of the meter burn rolls to beat projectiles, and that's why Deadshot felt so prevalent in the meta, and he still is, but I've been told there's going to be a balance patch that maybe kills Deadshot a little bit.
Yep.
But do you think the same patch will affect Red Hood?
Yeah, it has, but I'm sure Red Hood will still be good, you know. They nerfed his lunge a little bit, which is fair enough, but he still has good neutral, good zoning tools and all that,
So what is the benefits of the lunge? Is it a meter burn launcher, or is it just a good closing
Nah,
tool?
it's like 13 frame mid with really good range, good chip damage, leaves him at good range on block as well, so it's just really good.
So what we've seen there as well, he's challenging when Supergirl's in the air, the lunge is really good at challenging. We've seen a float out into a jab, he didn't fully capitalise on it from Red Hood, but it looks as is it safe?
Meter burned is, yeah, and you saw him use the lunge to catch the backdash there after a back 1-3.
So how do you feel about Red Hood then as a character? Is
Oh,
this a character
he's
you
good.
enjoy?
People say he's like, some people say he's the best in the game. Definitely a top 5 character. Same with Supergirl though, and after the patch Supergirl got untouched, so she's probably going to be like top 3.
Still think she's going to be top 3, so who is it you play now, Rusty?
Deadshot.
Deadshot. Will you be changing?
Probably. Fate's going to be really good after the patch. Yeah, when Deadshot gets nerfed, Fate consequently gets buffed, because that was his worst matchup. Now Fate's going to be really strong.
They'll have less contenders against him. That's good then. And we've got, that is Euphemism, Glasgow Combat's Euphemism taking the first match.
1-0.
And both the players is now just a bit of light banter, congratulating each other on playing well.
Yeah.
But the Scot is still also being told to stay free, so it's just one of those. He's doing really well, and that's one of the benefits there of the meter burn. You just seen that one low poke straight into the freeze, and look at that. gets just enough damage to keep him off and keep him at bay with that laser. But we're going to see Euphemism push in with, wow, what a block stun combo. I have no idea he was capable of that. But they're going to look at the damage as well. I was speaking as well from right back out
Good
with
overhead.
Deadshot, and it's making the most of sitting on this lead. Peterburn knows and challenges him right out of roll there. And this looks devastating for Scott.
Yeah, that's
as
a
Green Arrow's
huge
just
life lead.
pinned down. Yeah, and this is the kind of life lead that you can't get back on. And what a fantastic meter burn.
Only has
Scott
one
has got
bar as
shown
well
he has
when
the
he finally
full
gets in.
actual combos, but switches sides of it and meaty grab set up, and he loads them up with arrows on the floor. Slides in but gets challenged by back forward
up.
3, and that's it.
Alright.
Euphemism takes it.
Deadshot wins.
So that's going to be Euphemism moving on to fight yours truly,
Oh, nice.
Rusty Banana.
Okay. When is that, after one more set or no?
That's it. We'll find out who's coming up next, so just wait around. We'll find out who's on stream.
Alright, sound.
So both players there, just looks like we've got a losers match up next, potentially. It looks like Scott the Scot and Fusco, maybe.
Okay.
So Scott the Scot staying down. Yeah, the plug's back in. And that means Scott the Scot's going to have to run a gauntlet after such a long kind of grueling set there. He's going to have to go up against Fusco. I believe he is a player from Dundee, an anime player.
Okay. Nice.
But interested in Injustice, and that means I believe I could at least tag out and get Euphemism on before your match. So just hold on 2 seconds, we'll switch
Alright.
commentators to someone that knows a little bit more.
Yo, how do I read the stream chat?
Black Canary. Captain.
Alright, I have returned.
Fighters
What did you think of that one?
The Deadshot pick, I respect it. Interesting at the end, the Green Arrow pick as well.
Yeah, it was. I was pretty
Yeah.
thrown
That
off.
dead shots.
Yeah, it was a bit of a decision that threw me off, but at the same time, like, I had to do it because
How
Yeah.
do you guys feel knowing that Deadshot is going to die soon?
I don't mind it because I've got plenty of characters to pick from. Not against Supergirl. God no. Next city. I've got Red Hood. Why would you play Joker when you've got Red Hood? I do. But what I also respect is this Captain Cold pick. This man is trying his hardest. We saw this last from Sonic Fox at Ely against Forever King and Nubcakes. Tried out Captain Cold, didn't work against Forever King, got double eliminated for the decision. Barely managed to scrape out against Nubcakes. Oh, gets the bat there, doesn't quite get the conversion. He's got to drop that a couple of times there with the one bat, but we'll see what he can do with it. Because right now we have, that's Fusco.
What?
Where's the match, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. Alright, there it's there. Must just be taking its time to load. Yeah, looks like we'll be moving into Scott Fusco 3-0. Just bear with us a minute and we'll get the next match set up for you. Maybe, yeah. Is something not going out?
I'll try and get the audio out through. Going through yet? Good then, that's it fixed. You may continue with it.
Okay, let's have a look here. So yeah, it looks like our next matchup will be Nausea and Scott the Scot, two of our top players here in Scotland for NRS games.
If you still want to do the winners finals first, then. No. It's it depends. Do you want the person from winners to do 2 matches in a row, or would you want the person from losers to have to do 2 matches in a row?
Usually it's done like losers semis, winners finals, losers finals. Okay, yeah, okay. So we'll do it that way. So Nausea flips it to us.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like we're going into losers semis here. Nausea and Scott. Nausea likely to be playing either Dr. Fate or could bring out his Catwoman again.
Yep.
What were you thinking when he brought out Catwoman?
Well, I was like, I saw him using Catwoman against Scott, so I was like, I mean, I play versus a lot of Catwomans, given that everyone wants to play a favourable matchup, so I was kind of ready for it, but at the same time, I'm obviously still nervous about a bad matchup. So.
Yeah. And he was playing really strong, actually surprisingly strong considering the last time I'd seen his Catwoman, but he was really bringing the pressure onto you, the throws, and he was just making smart decisions.
Yeah, his Catwoman was doing better than his Scarecrow for sure.
So we'll see if he continues with the Catwoman against Scott here, who is likely to be playing, like we say, either Supergirl, or he could bring out his Batman again, could be anyone. Even the Green Arrow pick. That was a hell of a pick. I respect the decision, and I can understand why he went for it, but the trades just aren't in his favour, and I knew that.
He never got the fire arrows out once.
Yep, that's the thing. He was just trying to do the fastest arrows that he could, and then even though...
So obviously we've seen a challenge from Scott to switch to this, but it's not working out. And the
not so
big
far.
overhead, it's similar to Dragonov's back
slide.
+2 in Tekken. There's a massive overhead, but catches him with the arrow,
with the
ice arrow, and this is going to be...
Ooh, not a full combo with backdashes in the back 3 as well. That's
what
pretty
a
awesome.
great presence of mind as well from Yusuf to backdash, knowing that Scott would try dash up and get that perfect wall bounce combo, and just the whiff punished and launched, and look at that cost of Scott around in a match that was in his favour previously. Scott's now trying to load different arrows just to challenge him.
With a life lead here though, this matchup is really tough for Green Arrow because the trick shot will challenge the zoning, so Green Arrow is forced to get in.
And you have to pick and place your arrows. So you seen him place his ice arrow, but he never got it in a range which is safe enough for him to dash in and confirm. And he tries to close the gap there with the slide, but as you can see, Euphemism just slides right back out with Deadshot, and he's making the most of sitting on this lead. Peterburn rolls and challenges him right out of roll there, and this looks devastating for Scott.
Yeah, that's a huge life lead.
Pinned down. Yeah, this is the kind of life lead that you can't get back on. And what a fantastic Peterburn roll.
Only has
Scott
one bar as
shown
well
he has
when
the
he finally
full
gets in.
actual combos, but switches sides of a meaty grab setup, and he loads them up with arrows on the floor. Slides in, but gets challenged by back forward 3, and that's it. Euphemism takes it. So that's going to be Euphemism moving on to fight yours truly, Rusty Banana.
Okay. When is that, after one more set or no?
That's it. We'll find out who's coming up next, so just wait around, we'll find out who's on stream.
Alright, sound.
So both players there, just looks like we've got a losers match up next, potentially. It looks like Scott and Fusco, maybe.
Okay.
So Scott staying down. Yeah, he plugs back in. And that means Scott's going to have to run a gauntlet after such a long kind of grueling set there. He's going to have to go up against Fusco. I believe he is a player from Dundee, an anime player.
Okay, nice.
But interested in Justice, and that means I believe I could at least tag out and get Euphemism on before your match. So just hold on 2 seconds, we'll switch commentators to someone that knows a little bit more.
Yo, how do I read the stream chat?
Black Canary. Captain.
Alright, I have returned. What did you think of that one?
The Deadshot pick, I respect it.
Electric candies, here we go. Straight out. Some chip. Here we go. Yeah, does it cross it over? Does he jump through the half speed? Crazy. Here we go. Risk cannon, I'll take the health bar. Always Scott not too far behind here. Could potentially go back. Nice clear shot, takes the head clean off. Here we go. No back. Oh, no, wake up. Back 3, high kick. whiffs over. Forward to it. Traits out, that's nearly dead. Oh no! Oh, here we go, Scott. Take him out, take him out. Ah, there we go, the forward field. Take it from that teabagging Black Adam scumbag. Here we go. Lovely stuff by you, giving me the shouting.
Black
Loves his
Adam.
life right now. 1-0 against Scott the Scott. Will we see a Swampy pick? Shout outs to CrazyFingers. Subby. Considering these options, hovering over Swamp Thing, Rusty, what do you think, man? That would be interesting. Wacky Swamp Thing, big buffs coming his way as well. Yep. Could we see the generation becoming all green? Everyone picking at Swamp Thing.
Swamp Things and Firestorms.
Oh, Swamp Things and Firestorms. The pocket Starfires. See already. The occasional lunatic Joker, because I think he's going to be really good after the patch as well. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to bring MKX to you, man. He's bringing MKX back in a big way. That'll be set play most way around, man. But here we go. Scott the Scott, undecided of who to go here, considering his options a lot. Your nannies are getting orange Adam. Who are you picking, Scott? Let's do this. Be sure to catch the archives, guys, on the YouTube channel as well.
Supergirl.
YouTube.com
Fighters approaching Gorilla City.
TFG. Here we go. Who did he even pick? Did he pick Supergirl? Yes, the footsie queen herself. Let's do it.
Begin.
Up we go with the updated AV. Right, let's get it started. My commentary is very low tier, so my apologies. I think it is low.
It's a very hard game for him. So you can see here, Fusco, originally a Smash player, coming over to play a little bit of Injustice. Very casual just now, he says, but he's looking to get into it a bit more. He's been playing a couple of cards. Looks like he's switching here to Dr. Fate. Very interesting choice. Dr. Fate does very well against Batman, actually.
Yeah. Saw that just earlier with Tekken Master versus Forever King.
Sorry?
Dude, we just saw this matchup at E-League as well.
Yeah, that's right. Who's it said, sorry?
Tekken Master and Forever King, I think.
Tekken Master from King, yeah. Tekken Master, master of many characters. Yes, Tekken Master did very well using this feat. We're looking to see if Fusco can pull off the same against Scott. Dr. Fate doesn't seem too bad just now. He's shown a little bit of tech earlier.
Nice tech.
Very nice tech, actually. See if Scott can put the pressure. Goes for 2-2, he doesn't quite get it. Gets a jump 2 this time, however. And he's going to go for a mix-up here. Let's see if Fusco blocks it. Oh, goes to the up air rank, but it whiffs there on Dr. Fate. Very interesting.
There.
Could be a very character-specific tech that up air rank, but it does leave the does leave Batman with
another super. Let's go.
Doesn't get the forward 3 in time to kill, so he will eat all this damage. Let's see if we can neutralise any of it by pressing 3 for each hit. Nope. Neither player manages to make it more or less damage. But Fusco is going to try his hardest to keep Scott away at this point. Activates trait. If it's hit by one of those orbs now, he's going to bounce back to full screen, and the anks will be physical hits. But Scott manages to close it out. That trait's going to run out now, and Scott will have another bat to play around with. Let's see if he can use it to work his way in. Gets hit with Interactive. He tries to punch with the bat, but doesn't quite get much from it. Gets another trait bat, and he now has him in the corner. It's a scary stuff for Fusco, but gets over the bat, catches him with a jump 1. And you see Scott gets trip guarded right there with the uppercut. Fusco is still, he's keeping it close.
Yeah, this is really even.
Very even matchup, Dr. Fate Batman. Very tough. If Batman gets in,
preempted down to whiffs.
Had the read wrong timing, unfortunately, and he's going to get mixed up. It was a cross-up, but he did block it. Didn't block the follow-up hits, unfortunately. It's cross-up jump 2, and let's see Scott does it. Gets the meter burn grapple. Goes for 1-2, and not blocking low Fusco, maybe not aware of the Batman look, and another super. Doesn't quite get it this time. No punisher from Scott. Scott goes from uppercut but gets caught. No clash either there from Fusco, but doesn't have the meter advantage, so either way, it would have been a little bit of life, but even a clash can sometimes just be good for resetting the situation. Scott now up 2-0. We'll see if Fusco switches to another character or if he chooses to stick with Dr. Fate. Like I say, the Dr. Fate matchup isn't too hard for Fate. It is doable. but we'll see if we can bring it back. He did keep it close most of the time.
Yeah, definitely. Till they got on that corner.
Yeah. It's not like he was getting completely demolished, it's just when he managed to get in. Gets caught with the 3 trait bats there. Doesn't quite get the
Drops
follow-up.
a combo though.
Fisco caught, tried to disrespect the frame trap, and Wake Up Glyph gets caught with the bat very nicely.
That jump one being out of the jump too.
Yep, unfortunately there the drop combo gets the health